You have a report due in 1 week. 7 whole days, plenty of time. So what do? Day 1, you think about it. Day 2, you plan to start. Day 3, you reorganize your desk. Day 4, you tell yourself tomorrow. Day 5, same. Day 6, mild panic. Day 7, you sit down at 10 p.m. and finish the entire thing in 3 hours. And here's the crazy part, it's actually good, maybe even your best work. So why, with 7 days available, did your brain wait until the last 3 hours? That question changed everything about how I work, because the answer isn't laziness, it isn't poor time management, it's pure neuroscience. And once you understand what's actually happening inside your brain, you can stop waiting for the last minute and create that same focus on demand, anytime you want. Let me show you how. Here's what most people don't know about their brain. Scientists have found that the maximum time a human brain can sustain real focused cognitive work is 90 minutes. 90 minutes. After that, you're not really working anymore. You're just suffering around the task, reorganizing your desk, making another coffee, rereading the same paragraph for the 4th time, checking your phone and telling yourself it's just for a second. Your brain is done, but you're still sitting there, pretending. And here's the cruel part. The longer you sit there pretending, the worse you feel about yourself, because you're watching time pass. You're watching the task not get done. And your brain starts building a story. I'm lazy. I can't focus. Something is wrong with me. Nothing is wrong with you. Your brain simply ran out of the chemical resources it needs to focus. Dopamine, noradrenaline, acetylcholine. These are the neurotransmitters that power focused work, and they deplete, just like a phone battery. You wouldn't blame your phone for dying after 12 hours. You'd charge it. Your brain needs the same understanding. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Scientists also discovered something called Parkinson's law. Work expands to fill the time available for it. Give yourself a month to finish something, and your brain will find a way to use the entire month. Give yourself 2 weeks, and your brain finds a way to finish in 2 weeks. Not because you worked harder, because your brain operates completely differently under a deadline. When time is limited, your prefrontal cortex enters a state of moderate stress, and something fascinating happens inside it. Perfectionism turns off. Think about that for a second. Perfectionism, that voice that says, "This isn't good enough yet," needs time to survive. It feeds on open-ended timelines. I'll just refine it a little more. Let me think about this a bit longer. Maybe tomorrow I'll have a better idea. Take away the time, and perfectionism has nowhere to live. Your brain switches from refinement mode to execution mode. At the same time, your brain releases noradrenaline. This is the focus chemical, the clarity chemical, the one that makes everything feel sharp and urgent. Your attention narrows, distractions fade. The task becomes the only thing that exists. This is why you can finish in 3 hours what you couldn't do in 7 days. It's not magic. It's not willpower. It's not some special personality trait. It's just your brain finally having the right chemical conditions to actually work. So I started testing this deliberately. Whatever I thought would take me a month, I gave myself 2 weeks. Whatever I thought would take a week, I gave myself 3 days. And something that felt completely impossible at first started working. Not perfectly, not always, but consistently enough that I kept going. And here is exactly what I do to create that deadline focus, without waiting for the last minute. First, a temperature trigger. Before I start any focused work, cold water on my face. Sometimes a cold shower if I have time. This sounds strange, but the science behind it is real. Cold exposure activates your sympathetic nervous system and triggers an immediate release of noradrenaline. The same chemical your brain releases under a deadline, you can trigger manually in 30 seconds. You don't need ice. You don't need to suffer. Just enough cold to feel a physical shift. Your brain wakes up, your body follows, and you start working already in the right state, instead of waiting for focus to arrive on its own. Second, remove everything that competes for your attention. Phone off, or in another room. Not on silent, in another room. Here's why this matters more than most people realize. Willpower is a finite resource. Every time you resist checking your phone, you spend real cognitive energy. energy that your prefrontal cortex needs for actual work. Scientists call this ego depletion. The more decisions and resistances you make throughout the day, the less mental energy you have for deep work. So don't resist temptation. Remove it. Your brain can only truly focus on what's in front of it, so make sure only one thing is in front of it. Third, set the wrong kind of deadline. Not, I'll start at 9 a.m., but I'll finish by 10 a.m. This small shift is more powerful than it sounds. Your brain navigates better toward an end point than a start point. A start time is a suggestion. Your brain can negotiate with a suggestion. Maybe 9:15 is fine, maybe 9:30. I'll just check one thing first. A finish time is a commitment. Your brain treats commitments differently. And here's the key. The deadline has to feel slightly uncomfortable, not impossible, but tight enough that your brain knows it cannot afford to drift. That slight pressure is exactly what triggers the noradrenaline and prefrontal focus you need. Fourth, track every win. Every time you finish within your own deadline, write it down. Not in a complicated system, just a note. Finished in time, done. This sounds almost too simple to matter, but neuroscience tells us that identity is built through repeated evidence. Your brain learns who you are based on what you repeatedly do and acknowledge. Every time you note, I finished on time, your brain starts updating its story about you. You are not someone who procrastinates. You are someone who gets things done. And over time, after repeated evidence, that story becomes actually true. Not because you forced it, because you gave your brain enough proof to believe it. Here's what I want you to take from this. Your brain is not your enemy when it comes to getting things done. It's just running on the wrong settings. It needs a real deadline, not an open-ended maybe. It needs a clean environment, not a battlefield of distractions. It needs a finish line, not just a starting gun. And it needs to be reminded, repeatedly, that you are someone who finishes what you start. You already know this feeling. You felt it on day 7 at 10 p.m. when you sat down and just did it. That wasn't luck. That wasn't adrenaline. That was your brain finally having permission to perform. You don't have to wait for the last minute anymore. You can create that state deliberately, anytime you want. Your brain doesn't need more time, it needs better conditions. Give it a deadline, give it focus, give it a win to remember, and watch what it can actually do. If you want a structured daily system for working with your brain instead of against it, I created a 7-day brain rewire workbook. Link in the description. It's $17. Subscribe. I share one brain science insight every week that will actually change how you think.